Louis XVI of France, during the years leading to the French Revolution, sought refuge in the Grand Palace of Versailles. This symbol of royal luxury became his fortress as economic and social chaos spread across the kingdom. While the people struggled with heavy taxes and food shortages, the king was lost in a world of lavish parties and courtly luxury. The gap between the monarchy and the public was glaring. As the 1780s went on, France's financial troubles worsened by Louis XVI's expensive role in the American Revolution and his failure to effectively change the tax system. The States General was called in 1789 for the first time in nearly 175 years, but the king's hesitation to make real changes turned many against him.